Wow, Christmas came and went so fast this year. So this is a bit different from what I normally post on here, since, it's not Pokemon related. But he is my favorite creepypasta character besides Jane the Killer and Mr. Widemouth. So I had to cover a Jeff the Killer creepypasta that was a Christmas story, and I feel it would just be perfect for a holiday special. So please enjoy how Jeff killed Christmas. And the story is created by Afro13. Have you hit the subscribe button yet? We're trying to hit 500 by the end of the year. Would be pretty cool if you pitched in. If you are on mobile, did you also forget to hit the hype button to help boost the video in the algorithm? This is a Jeff the Killer story, so we'll be saying a lot of non-YouTube friendly words, so the help would be appreciated. Hit the button, hit the button, hit the button, hit the button, hit the button. Okay, hypnosis over. You hit the buttons, right? Good. Let's get back to the video. Well, hello there, readers young and old. You're in for quite a treat. A true tale to behold. As you can see, with a title such as this, I will tell you the tale of how Jeff killed Christmas. It all started late on a silent Christmas Eve, and our favorite killer, Jeff, had something up his sleeve. Seeing that it was Christmas, Jeff wanted to do something new, something extra special. But what was he to do? Just then, he heard something. His feet made him pause. He slowly turned to see a fake, drunken Santa Claus. The wheels started turning. Jeff had a plan. He clutched the knife in his pocket, and that's when it began. Old Saint Nick saw Jeff heading straight his way. Maybe he could get $1 from Mr. Jeff today. Hey, buddy, wanna help me out? Now don't go being cheap. Jeff lunged at the man, saying, "Just go to sleep." He slit Santa's throat when he squirmed and thrashed, but there was no escaping being cut and being slashed. The drunk fell to the ground with a noticeable thud. His pupils started to widen as he choked on his blood. Jeff grabbed Santa's suit, soaked with crimson water. That's when he knew he could start his Christmas slaughter. When he achieved his look, he was on his way, but not before he hijacked Santa's car, the sleigh. He drove through a small neighborhood, rather quiet and kind, the perfect setting for what Jeff was planning in his mind. His plan was to sneak into each home, all of the parents he'd kill, murdering almost the whole neighborhood to get his holiday thrill. Jeff chuckled maniacally, stopping at the first house on the block, at how upset this town would be. Boy, would they be in for a shock. He could just imagine it. All the children on Christmas Day to see that mommy and daddy were some twisted psycho's prey. He got out of the car and trudged through the snow. Then he scaled the side of the house up to somebody's window. Through the window, he saw the parents dreaming their Christmas dreams. It's a little too quiet in there. Let's see if I can't get him to scream. He snuck through the window, crouched by the bed. He withdrew his knife and balanced it on Daddy's head. He poked Daddy Dearest, who awoke to the face of evil. The man let out a gasp of fear. Yeah, I have that effect on people. Jeff slammed the knife through his skull. The mother screamed and tried to run, but Jeff caught up and gutted her. He seemed to be having a lot of fun. When he was done with the mother, he wrote his slogan on the wall, but then he heard little footsteps making their way down the hall. He shot out of the room, then he slammed the door. He couldn't let the child see his masterpiece of gore. In the hallway he met a young little girl with eyes a bright blue. The girl looked at Jeff, all dressed in Santa's gear. Her eyes lit up with excitement, and her voice filled with cheer.
Santa, I can't believe it's you!
This was the best moment of her life. Then she looked to his side and asked,
"What are you doing with that knife?"
It's, for cutting turkey. I'm making sure it's fresh for tomorrow."
She glared at the knife again and said,
"I've got a better one for you to borrow."
She led him to the kitchen and opened the door. His eyes were fixated on a knife that he just couldn't ignore. The monstrous knife with a serrated edge put his bloody weapon to shame. He pulled it from the drawer.
"Will this work for you, Santa?"
This will be better for my reindeer game.
"Did I help you out?"
Jeff patted the girl's head with praise and said,
Without a doubt.
He sent the girl back to bed, made his way to his car, and continued. With his night of unspeakable horror, from home to home he went, having a ball with his slaughter, leaving behind a special present for every son and every daughter. He decorated the trees with intestines, filled their stockings with eyes. He made quick work of the parents, making sure the kids couldn't hear their cries. He propped up his victims on the couch in the living room, placing their heads in their laps, making a rather picturesque tomb. By the time he had finished, he could see the early light of day. He ditched the costume, got in the car, and ended his night of horrid play. His first annual Christmas killing was very brutal, I must confess, but we all know that in his eyes, he saw it as his greatest success. That small town won't be the same. They will forever live in fear, because in the back of their minds, they know that he'll do the same thing every year. So, for those of you who live in a town of small population, be warned and prepared for a night of gore and devastation. Sleep with a gun, lock up everything, and don't forget this little thrower if you don't want to be the next victim of the infamous Jeff the Killer. I hope you all enjoyed that. I thought it was the stupidest thing ever, but by that same extension, the greatest thing ever. Thank you to Afro13 for writing this masterpiece. I think the characterization of Jeff in this story is a bit strange in the original writing by GameFuel TV, aka Joshua Jordan, sets up Jeff as a very reactionary villain, with him killing Randy by punching him in the heart after Randy kept harassing and picking fights with him, and being the primary reason behind Lou being sent to juvie. He kills Troy and Keith for being the people behind his first disfigurement. He kills his parents after they unpromptedly grabbed a gun and tried to kill him first.
Now, what about Lou, huh? And if you want to include her, what about Jane's family? Lou was Jeff's biggest supporter, dude. Lou, literally, throws himself to the wolves by sending himself to juvie, so Jeff doesn't have to deal with that. And, depending on the continuity you subscribe to, Jane was just a girl that lived across the street, that barely even knew Jeff. The only bad thing she debatably ever does to him was fail to use a fire extinguisher that, if she was able to have used, could have probably saved a good chunk of Jeff's original face from the burns. However, as was shown in the end of the original creepypasta, written by GameFuel TV, Jeff is ecstatic about his disfigurement, to the point of him burning off his eyelids because he wants to keep looking at his reflection. And he loved it so much that he cut a smile into his face because he just wants to keep smiling at his reflection and saying how he looks beautiful. So, what's your great counter evidence to that one? Professor?
Well, know what?
Yeah? What's it now?
Honestly, I think you've got me on this one, Stanley.
Huh? Wait, no, you're not supposed to agree.
No, you've got a great point there. The way Afro13 sees Jeff is clearly just different the way I see Jeff, and that's perfectly okay. I just personally find Jeff being more interesting as a reactionary villain. Like, even if he attacks this town for a stupid reason. Like, hypothetically, him just passing through this town to avoid the cops, and one too many people see him and make fun of his appearance. That would have, while yes, still very stupid and a dumb reason to commit so many murders, would have been at least enough for some sort of motive for me to get invested in as I read. But instead, we get him doing all of this just because he's bored. Though, to defend Afro13, they just clearly wanted to write a fun Jeff the Killer spinoff of The Grinch, not some actual piece of literature. So I feel asking for an entire backstory would have really hurt the pacing, and judging from the story, it's clear Afro13 was, in fact, probably 13 when they wrote this story, like many other iconic Jeff the Killer stories. So I'll give them some slack. One other thing, I find Jeff calling this attack on this small town of nobodies his greatest work, instead of encounters with any notable character in his universe. Instead of him literally punching Randy so hard that his heart stops, or any hypothetical victories against his arch nemesis Jane the Killer, or his hypothetical arch enemy Slenderman, to not be his greatest work. And I'll be honest, I am way too 2015 Cool Cat Saves the Kids brain rotted to not hear "this is my greatest work" without thinking of Cool Cat.
You know what, Danny Jarrett? This is my best story yet. And you know what? I think it's some of my best work.
So someone saying that just feels comedic to me now. I also enjoy the twist of the Cindy Lou Who character doing the exact opposite of what she does in Grinch. Instead of unintentionally encouraging Jeff to do better with his life like she does in the original, this version unintentionally encourages Jeff to continue with his plan, and with the knife being serrated is the reason behind his plan having 50 times the more pain behind every attack for this town. One last minor gripe I have with the story. I find it a little weird how clammed up Jeff gets when Cindy Lou Who walks in on him with her parents' bodies, and she doesn't even mention it or even smell the blood. Like, sure, he does say that he's carving a turkey, but still, I feel it's a little strange that Jeff would get so shy and clammed up when his entire goal is to ruin Christmas for all of the kids in this town. So it feels just a little bit weird that he got nervous. My best idea would be Jeff is a tried and true villain who understands the act of villainy that matters most truly is
Presentation!
he didn't have Cindy Lou Who's parents all set up yet on the couch with their respective heads in their laps. He didn't have any intestines on the tree, and the stockings were very much lacking eyeballs, so he just was not ready for an audience, which I think fixes that minor plot hole. One minor thing that Afro13 wrote in this that I found just really comedic was them referring to Jeff's trademark line, "Go to sleep," as a slogan and not a catchphrase, because it makes me think that, like, Jeff's trying to advertise instead of leave a mark of fear. So that's just, I found kind of funny.
Of course I'm going to ask you for a driver's license. I'm a salesperson.
And there you have it. My analysis of how Jeff killed Christmas. I poke fun, but I truly did love this poem. I remember immediately once I found out that this thing existed, and once me and all my friends got in a Discord call together to hang out, the second it got silent, I just unpromptedly started reading this out loud. Friends, what do you think of how Jeff killed Christmas?
Okay, so I don't think they gotta worry about this becoming a routine problem. I don't think this is gonna be a tradition every year.
Why?
Here's my analysis, okay?
Yeah.
Santa is dead. So that kind of causes some problems. If Santa is canon, I think that's gonna cause some issues.
But it was a fake Santa.
It was a fake Santa?
It was a drunk fake
This
Santa.
was real Santa, but
He drew a Mazda!
well, it was Santa's magic Mazda. The other thing is, he said it's a town with a small population.
Yeah.
He's gonna real quick run through them all if he just kills all of the adults.
Well, like,
You know?
the kids will grow.
And then who's he gonna kill then? He's out.
He just checks the IDs before he kills them. Are you 17 or 18? Anti-groomer. Jeff the Killer.
But at the very least, he's not as bad as Minecraft YouTubers.
True,
So,
true.
I mean, I respect him for that.
Yeah, we should respect Jeff the Killer. Jeffrey Wood's my goat.
Exactly.
Yeah, so...
Anyway,
Yeah.
that was my main thing. If he killed Santa, I feel like he ruined Christmas. How are you gonna have more Christmases after Santa's dead?
Exactly.
And his Mazda is probably like in a ditch somewhere.
No, he locked it.
Oh, true. No one's gonna take his Mazda. He's fine.
Nice.
Meter could have been better, rhyming was pretty decent, spelling's what I expected, subject matter makes it all the more amusing? Definitely more humorous than horrifying IMO.
Well, I hope you enjoyed. I definitely want to cover more of the classic creepypastas that I love, like Tiki Toby, the original Game Fuel TV Jeff the Killer, the 3 Jane the Killer stories, Eyeless Jack, since that's one of my best friend Roughnut's favorites, and my beloved Mr. Widemouth. Though, those are definitely projects for another day, since I have quite the backlog already. Thank you all for watching. And remember, from all of us here at the Spark Saturn YouTube channel, we wish you all a great and Merry Christmas. See you all next year.
Kung Fu? He's in a permanent state of sitting.
Oh, yeah? Okay, you asked for this.
No, I didn't. He did. Really? You made the Kung Fu sound with your mouth?
You were doing so well. Okay, I'm gonna bounce. I've got gals in different locales.